Imagine a world with air so clean, there's not a single speck of dust. The sky is bright blue, the trees are lush, and everything looks fresh and clear. No haze, no dust on furniture, just a perfect spotless world. Sounds amazing, right? No more sneezing, no more dusty shelves, and no more dirt floating in the air. Everyone would be happy, right? But wait, have you ever thought about what dust actually does? It may seem like a nuisance, but what if it has an important job? Let's take a closer look at this tiny but powerful force. Dust might be small, but it's everywhere, floating in the air, traveling across the world, and even shaping the environment around us. You may not always see it, but dust is all around us. Have you ever noticed tiny specks floating in a beam of sunlight? That's dust, dancing through the air, carrying secrets of the world. So, before we celebrate a dust-free world, maybe we should stop and ask, is dust really just dirt, or is there more to the story? So, where does dust come from? You might not realize it, but dust is all around us, floating in the air, settling on surfaces, and even traveling across the world. Some dust comes from nature. In dry deserts, powerful winds pick up tiny grains of sand and carry them far, far away. But that's not the only source. When volcanoes erupt, they blast ash and tiny rock particles high into the sky, adding even more dust to the air. Even the ocean creates dust. When waves crash, tiny salt particles rise into the air, mixing with the wind and traveling across the planet. Did you know that even plants and animals create dust? When leaves break down or fur and skin shed, tiny particles drift into the air and become part of the dust we breathe. And then there's human-made dust. Factories, cars, and burning fuels all release pollution into the air, adding even more tiny particles to the mix. But dust doesn't stay in one place. These tiny travelers move with the wind, crossing oceans, flying over mountains, and even reaching the other side of the world. Believe it or not, dust from the Sahara Desert in Africa can travel all the way to the Amazon rainforest, helping plants grow. Even though dust is tiny, it plays a big role in shaping the world. It carries nutrients, spreads seeds, and even affects the air we breathe. But what would happen if all dust disappeared? Would the world be cleaner, or would we lose something important? Before we find out, let's take a closer look at how dust makes the world more beautiful and even helps create rain. Did you know that dust is the reason we see those breathtaking sunsets? Without it, the sky would look pale and dull. When sunlight passes through the atmosphere, dust particles scatter the light, turning the sky into a painting of warm colors. Without dust, the sky wouldn't glow with deep reds and oranges. Instead, the sun would just set, leaving behind a pale, empty sky. But dust's beauty isn't just in sunsets. At night, dust in the air helps the stars twinkle and shine more brightly. Dust isn't just on Earth, it's in space too. In fact, cosmic dust helps form stars and planets, including our own. Billions of years ago, cosmic dust helped build Earth itself. Without it, our planet might not even exist. Even today, dust helps shape the land. Winds carry dust to new places, helping form mountains, valleys, and even fertile soil. Dust isn't just pretty, it also carries nutrients. Some plants and animals rely on dust to help them grow and survive. It might be too small to see most of the time, but dust plays a huge role in making the world more colorful, more vibrant, and full of life. But what if all the dust disappeared? Would the world be just as bright and full of life? Dust isn't just about beauty, it also plays a big role in weather. Without dust, even something as simple as rain wouldn't exist. Let's find out why. Did you know that without dust, rain wouldn't exist? Tiny dust particles in the air help water droplets form. Water vapor in the air is too light to turn into raindrops on its own. It needs something to cling to, like dust. As more water droplets gather around dust, they form clouds. Without dust, the sky would have far fewer clouds. When enough water gathers around dust, raindrops become heavy and fall to the ground. That's how rain begins. But what if there were no dust? Clouds would struggle to form, and rain might become much rarer. Without enough rain, rivers and lakes would dry up. Plants would struggle to grow, and animals would have less water to drink. Some places would turn into dry deserts because there wouldn't be enough rain to keep them green and full of life. Dust may be tiny, but it plays a big role in keeping Earth's water cycle running smoothly. Without it, life would struggle. So, next time you see a dusty window or a little dirt in the air, remember, it's helping bring rain, keeping the planet alive. But what if all dust disappeared? Let's find out. Let's imagine a world where dust completely disappears. No tiny particles floating in the air, no dust settling on things. Sounds great, right? But wait, without dust, something feels different. The sky looks pale and empty, missing the beautiful colors of sunrise and sunset. Without dust to scatter light, sunsets and sunrises look weak and lifeless. No more fiery red skies or deep golden hues. And remember how dust helps make rain? Without it, raindrops struggle to form, and rain becomes rare. Less rain means fewer lakes and rivers. Plants and animals struggle to survive, and some places turn into deserts. Without dust, the world would look dull, dry, and lifeless. We might not like dust, but our planet needs it. Dust may seem annoying, but it's a key part of our world. It helps create beautiful sunsets, brings rain, and even helps form planets. Without dust, we'd lose so much. Our colorful skies, life-giving rain, and even the stars in space that formed from cosmic dust. So next time you see a dusty shelf, sneeze in a sunbeam or admire a sunset. Remember, dust isn't just dirt. It's a tiny but mighty force that makes life on Earth more colorful, more dynamic, and more incredible than we ever imagined.